We have another portion of the Kabbalah of the Ramchal from Sefer Klalaim, and we were discussing about Adam Kadmon, the concept of Adam Kadmon, and now the next step is to understand the lights that are coming out of Adam Kadmon. Okay, so first, before we speaking about all those different lights, the principle that is brought down in the Kabbalah of the Eidal and also the Ramchal is reciting it, that like within physical body there is like holes in the body, like the nostrils, the eyes, the ears, the mouth, the pores of the skin, and so on and so forth. The same also we're looking on within the spiritual realms, that Adam Kadmon, and every time we have like Adam structure in each one of the worlds, so each one of those openings is an opening that the inner light comes out. So the inner light of Adam Kadmon that shines out of Adam Kadmon, that creates worlds. Okay, so there is worlds that are coming out of the ears of Adam Kadmon. There is worlds that are coming out of the eyes of Adam Kadmon. There's worlds that are coming out of, and so on and so forth. Yeah? Each one of those openings is like a gate, that through that gate there's light that is shining out, and that creates another world or worlds, or there is some worlds that there is a combination of different lights. Okay, yeah, that's a principle.
We're talking about all in the spiritual realm, not when it became when the.
I'm not talking anything to do with physicality now. We're using the terms like physical just to give the principle, to give the parable to understand the spiritual concept that we're speaking about. Okay, again, I'm saying again to make sure that we all know that it's not physical, and somebody that thinks of he cannot let go of the physical attachment that he have when he hears those terms of eyes, ears, nose, and so on. Those people should not learn Kabbalah. The basic principle of to be able to learn Kabbalah is to be able to relate to those concepts not as physical terms, just as a spiritual concept. And the physical is just for us to be able to understand the spiritual. But the spiritual is not physical. There's nothing physical in the spiritual realms. Okay? So, instead of like just reading what the Ramchal is explaining here, I will just go in very, very short summary about those different lights that are coming out of the head of Adam Kadmon. And B'ezrat Hashem the next time, so we'll go more in the details and the differences between them. Okay, so we have we go from the top to bottom. Yeah, so the first part in that structure is the lights that are coming out of the top of the head, which is the hairs. Yeah, the hairs, every hair has a hole in the skin that it comes out from, right? So, like in physical, we have hairs. Adam Kadmon have light that is coming out of the top of the head. Okay. Now that light is brought down in the Arizal that is so high we cannot speak about it. Okay. We know that it exists, but we can't say anything about it. The light of the top of the head of Adam Kadmon is like out of our range. Okay, next. What is the point within Adam Kadmon that we're starting to speak from? Is the ears. Okay? It's called Orot HaOzen. Lights of the ears of Adam Kadmon. This is the first place that we're speaking about. And then afterwards we have the nose, the mouth, the eyes. Okay? You see that it's not exactly in the order, right? We go like ears, nose, mouth, and then we go back to the eyes. Why? Because there's a difference between, there's like one system of lights of the ear, nose, mouth. It's called in short, it's called Achab, Ozen, Chot, and Peh, in the Arizal. So that's that joins to be one world, and the lights of the eyes, that's another world. That there's something else that's going on with it. Okay, so we have the Achab, Ozen, Chot, and Peh, ear, nose, mouth, and we have the eyes, yeah, and basically that is the lights that are coming out of the head of Adam Kadmon. Okay. So to finish that little introduction, let's say that because we understand that the light of the ears is the highest from those that we're speaking about, it makes a big difference. Okay. And in matter of fact, the Arizal explains that in the lower worlds that will be developed and extend from Adam Kadmon, those that received enlightenment of the light of the ears of Adam Kadmon, that will give them the strength to exist, to keep on existing. And those that did not receive the enlightenment of the light of the ears of Adam Kadmon, they will break down. That is the spectrum that we call the shattering of the vessels. Okay? There's many reasons of the shattering of the vessels. We're going to speak it in length when we'll get there. We're not there yet. But just to make that connection, so we see that. Okay, so let's take that to our life. Okay, let's take that to our life. Sometimes there is something that is very, very high and distant, but it becomes to be very, very important and makes a big difference when it comes down. Okay? And for example, we can connect that to, there's many stories in the Gemara and like other stories of the Zohar and so on about rabbis that they had a connection with the previous rabbi from the previous generation, and they didn't really connect with this rabbi. They didn't really heard like classes from him, Torah, but they saw him. They had like a certain connection with him, they met him. And they said afterwards, when they were like later rabbis themselves, so they said that time that they saw this rabbi, they spoke with this rabbi, they got this the bracha from this rabbi, it made a big difference for them. It changed their life, right? So that we have to know that it's also in the spiritual realms, but it's also very practical for us that when there is something that is very, very high, sometimes you don't need a lot of it. It's not quantity, it's quality. You have like just a glimpse of that light, and that will make the difference between someone that might break down, God forbid, and someone that have the strength to survive. Okay, so for us, we're looking for the quantity, to have like someone that we are able to really connect with and have a lot of time, that he can like give us all the answers for all of our questions and so on and so forth. And it's also true, we need also that. But sometimes it's enough to have just a certain connection, just a certain relationship, even just to see someone that is very, very holy, very, very righteous, and that experience can give the person the strength that he needs that he will be able to survive whatever is the happenings that is going to go through. So we see that also in our life, also in the spiritual realms, and also, and that's really my message, what I'm trying to have for myself and for my students, that to have experience of connecting with Hashem. Okay, so to have that experience of connecting with Hashem, obviously connecting with Hashem is not like 0 or 1. There's like each person is getting a certain connection in different times, but when there is this, like a high level of connection, even if it will be just for a split of a second, it's so worth it, because it can change life of a person. Okay, so I'm saying that because I know that many people, when they are practicing those meditations that I'm teaching, so they want to have like a constant connection that is like stable all the time, to be connected. And it's true. That's obviously what you have to aim for sure. But even if somebody have like just within, let's say, just for example, let's say someone was spending 3 hours to pray shacharit, 4 hours to pray shacharit, and within all of this time he had like just one moment that he felt connected. So what about all the rest of the time? Did he waste his time? It's wasted? No, it's all worth it for this split of a moment that of that high experience, this revelation, to experience that high light. So that is related also with that primer light of the ears of Adam Kadmon. That it's enough to have just tiny enlightenment of that, and that will determine afterwards if those lights that are coming down and extending to be the lower walls, if they will have shattering of the vessels or they will be able to exist. So with the help of Hashem, my humble bracha for us, all of everybody, that will have the experience of the light of Hashem, and that we will be able to take it, that it will give us the strength that we need to deal with all what we need to deal with. To make it short, Bezrat Hashem. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen v'Amen.